Now, what is in store for us today here in Portland, where some of the all-time greats have hoisted a trophy? We could be seeing one of the biggest long shots in LPGA history win for the very first time. We're at Columbia Edgewater Country Club. Players like Kathy Whitworth, Judy Rankin, Donna Capone, Nancy Lopez, on through Annika Sorenstam have won here. But it is the 19-year-old from Thailand, a Monday qualifier, Shanete Wanasayan, who has gone birdie, birdie, eagle to take the lead over last week's winner, Megan Kang, trying to go back-to-back. The young Yo Jun Jang from Korea right there playing in the final pair. You got some major champs like Ronin Yen and Arya Jatanagarn within striking distance. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel, Paige McKenzie, Karen Stupples and Kate Cockrell are out there. We said striking distance, Morgan. So with 21 under now leading, how about Lynn Grant with 9 holes to go, 5 back?
There's a lot of golf still left to play and plenty of birdies to be made. I will say the front 9 this week has played slightly easier than the back 9. But it is out there for the taking. And here on a par 5 10th. Won't quite be what she was looking for from there.
And so that was the 3rd for Grant, whose tee shot found a bit of trouble. So that'll be a long birdie putt.
This now at the 5th. This is Megan Kang.
She's got a really thick lie over here, Paige. Her second shot was one that kind of rolled more on the ground than it was up in the air, so wasn't able to hit this green in 2. But by leaving it in this part, even though she's in some thick rough, she has lots of green to use to get the ball back to the hole.
In the first 4 holes, maybe we weren't expecting a lot of movement, but the 5th, this is where players can really start to throw a lot of birdies at it. I think for Megan Kang, maybe feeling like almost a little flat-footed by comparison to what we've seen from Wanasayan.
And Megan's good pal, Nelly Korda, former #1 in the world, at the 12th for birdie.
Speed there.
Playing with her Solheim Cup teammate later this month, Andrea Lee. Going to be the defending champ. Right, this is our leader, Shanete Wanasayan, at the 6th, and Kate Cockrell following.
Wow, all I can say is wow right now. She is hitting the ball so beautifully and putting well. Everything right at the flag or center of the green.
Have we mentioned she's a rookie?
She not only a rookie, but a rookie with literally no experience on this stage.
Arya Jatanagarn playing with Lynn Grant. Awkward position in 2 and maybe in 3 as well. Andrea Lee for birdie at the 12th. She was a first-time winner here last year, but she had been showing some form coming in, unlike Wanasayan today.
Yeah, she really struggled at the beginning of the season, but starting in Scotland a little over a month ago, really found something in her game. And I know had been really looking forward to this week for a while as well.
Back to 5.
And Karen, that was a disappointing pitch for Megan Kang.
Well, I think when you had so much green to use at the start, but the lie was always going to be unpredictable, and I think you go into it and take a really big swing and hope that the grass slow things down, but like which went through that grass like a hot knife through butter, so consequently got one that flew a little bit farther than she wanted. But I think, you know, what you see with Megan now that she has her first victory, Paige, is that she does have the experience to know that people will climb up that leaderboard and chase her. And so she's in a position where she knows that she doesn't have to stress, she just has to keep playing.
It is, though, a golf course giving up so many birdies that it feels like you can't coast. And this is the 2nd easiest hole in the golf course that she's going to walk away with par.
Arya Jatanagarn's had a nice day, 5 under through 9. Here's her 4th at the 10th. Never say never with a player of Arya's immense talent. But it is her countrywoman, Wanasean, out in front.
It's another birdie putt for Yo-Jun Jang.
She hit her tee shot right up against one of the big trees through the fairway. Just had to punch out, hit her longest shot to this point of the green. So doing well just to have this birdie opportunity here. I would say that in the early stages out here on the golf course, there aren't too many scoreboards either. So players generally don't get a feel for what's going on. A couple of groups up ahead, they would have heard the cheers though, for sure.
No, but that's a good point, Karen. Easy to lose track of where you stand if you're not paying attention to a leaderboard, and leaderboards are changing very quickly here in Portland.
I believe there's one by the next green. They'll be able to see soon enough.
And Wanasean, her score keeps changing, keeps going lower. Birdie, birdie, eagle, and a chance for another birdie here at 6.
Yeah, she has kept that momentum going, starting off with a solid 68 this week and then just improving as the week's gone on. And maybe that's enough to erase any kind of negative thoughts about the beginning of the year. She's almost transported herself into a new world. And it's a world she's created with just solid ball striking and great putting. And she obviously loves this golf course at first sight, because this is her first time playing it. This putt is no more than probably 11, 12 feet, and we'll have a little bit of right to left movement.
Okay, it's the type of putt that a right-hander would love to see. Started out just a little bit outside the right and let it fall into the high side.
Definitely, and it's slightly uphill, so doesn't have to worry about the speed getting away from her. She can be plenty aggressive.
It's unbelievable. 9 straight missed cuts. Looking like a player's won 9 weeks in a row.
It's truly spectacular. I am nearly lost for words on what she is accomplishing so far today, with all of the pressure that comes with trying to win your first tournament on the LPGA Tour.
Lynn Grant at the 10. Okay. Rattles that one in. She's trying to keep pace at this point with Wanasean to 13.
And Nelly Korda now for a birdie look. And a good look at this whole location on the par 3.
Great putt.
Pretty accessible today on the lower tier.
I'd expect to see a lot of players take advantage of this 13th hole. They already have so far today, playing well under par, 0.3 of a stroke.
Ariya Jutanugarn for par. All right, well, Ariya was turning heads in Thailand at a very young age, and it is the 19-year-old Thai Shanete Wanasean out in front by 3 after a red-hot start in Portland. Today's coverage is brought to you by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon, by Skechers Go Golf, comfort-driven styles worn by Brooke Henderson, and by CME Group, where risk meets opportunity. We're at the 6th. The overnight leader, Megan Kang, 3 straight 66s, but now trailing by 3.
Well, and from this point on the fairway, she's only got 118 yards. The ball is slightly above her feet. And I'd say that Portland has given these players a lot to think about with regards to the weather in which they're playing. You had rain on the first day, perfect conditions on the second day. Yesterday was scorching hot, and today it's overcast and there's a little freshness to it. trying to draw this one in.
You see Roning Yin has moved it into a tie for second as well with Megan Kang, with Wanasea out in front. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Portland, Oregon, it's final round coverage of the Portland Classic. It's a gorgeous Labor Day weekend here in the Willamette Valley. Portland and the Willamette River downtown colliding north of town with the Columbia, and we're here at Columbia Edgewater Country Club, where we could see something special today. For half a century they've been coming here to contend for a prized trophy. So many of the greats in the game have won here. And who will be next indeed? Could it be the long shot, Shaneti Wanasean, to hoist that Tom Miletus trophy? As Karen mentioned, it is a bit cooler today, 70 degrees, as we take you out to the tee at the 8th, and China's Shi Yu Lin.
Location today on the 8th hole, the toughest on this green, back right, narrowest section of the green. Not surprised to see her play a little short and left to the safe spot of the green.
Back to the 7th.
This short par 5. This is just the second shot for Wanasean.
Hit another beautiful drive. 181 yards to the hole. Boy, just stepping right up over the ball, hardly taking any time to think or discuss the shot.
Oh, wow. This hole today, with that hole location, is played incredibly easy, averaging just over 4 strokes. So there are a handful of par 4s that are playing more difficult than the par 5 7th.
What a show we're watching from the young 19-year-old from Thailand. Meanwhile, in the final pair, Megan Kang has a putt for birdie at 6.
And this is one of those tough putts. You never really want to be above the hole on this 6th hole. And she is slightly above the hole here, and which means it's going to be a little quick, but it's also going to break to the left. Not really a putt that you can be overly aggressive with, Morgan.
No, Karen, but her flat stick has been on fire. She made over 120 feet of putts around this golf course yesterday. So many of them came on the back 9. She is just feeling it.
It's kind of how she was in Canada too. Like, she put on a back 9 charge in most of her rounds in Canada as well.
Just about everything but go in. That was a good looking roll.
And able to take advantage of the par 5 5th, and then this flirted.
She just looks so stable in her lower body. Very balanced. Oh, that wiggled right at the very end when the whole green slopes back to front.
Well, she began today up 1. She's 1 under, and now she's down by 3, which is all you need to know about the start for Wanasea. Now, Hyojun Jang.
And this one's a pretty straightforward putt, Grant. Back up the hill. Left herself in a really good spot here.
Wow, both of those putts. Oh my goodness. That was quite unlucky right there. Talked about how many feet of putts Megan made. Hyojun yesterday made over 140 feet of putts.
So as we watch this final round at the Portland Classic, glad to have you with us. It has been the year of the long shot on the LPGA Tour. We've had 2 players from outside the top 400 in the world rankings win on the LPGA Tour. Now, Rose Zhang was one of them, and it was her first event as a pro. Morgan, there was nothing to suggest that Shanati Wanasayan would do what she's doing this week with 9 straight missed cuts. Had to Monday qualify to get in, and here she is up by 3.
She is absolutely not showing any nerves. I mean, she nearly just holed her second shot there on the par 5 7th. Already has 1 eagle on the card on the 5th hole today. I am so impressed with what we've seen so far. Think about the stress, the mental, and the way it's so taxing. You missed 9 straight cuts. You're having to come, and Monday qualified. You've reshuffled down in the wrong direction where you don't want to go. And she just changed her mentality from that Monday qualifier. I think that really helped her. Came out and said, I only have 1 round. I might as well go for broke. And she's taken that attitude into this round today. And she hasn't shown any nerves so far. When I saw her this morning on the range, she was talking about, we were talking about the interview she did with Karen yesterday. And she said, oh, I was so nervous for that. And I think she was more nervous doing that interview with Karen yesterday than she is out on the golf course today.
This is a player who's won on various tours around the world, a couple of wins on her home tour in Thailand last year. But in her rookie season, she has not shown this kind of form, but she is this week to 11.
Lynn Grant up this very steep hill to where the hole is located. There's a false front, or a very steep portion of the front portion of this green that will repel the balls back down if you're not careful, but a good lag there.
Paige, you never know what's going to happen at the top of this leaderboard, but you'd have to think for somebody like Lynn to catch up, she's going to have to do something really special here in the next few holes.
At this point, and so much of it's going to depend on what this woman does, Wanasayan.
Paige, another eagle opportunity after 2 brilliantly hit shots. A great drive and a great 5-iron to this point. A little slight double breaker downhill.
I thought that was going in.
It's about as textbook as you get, the way that she's walking around this golf course. We'll go back to the 11th, and this is area Dutanagarn. Also will be a slow putt. Lynn Grant and Area kind of feeding off each other so far today. You can see what a flawless card Area has going. 6 under on her day. Lynn Grant's 4 under on hers.
Back at the 8th, Shiyu Lin for birdie.
Kind of putting in between 2 ridges here. Won't have a lot of break in this putt.
She's close this year, looking for her first win still. 9.
Another player that has worked her way up the leaderboard, Ronan Yin. Now 5 under on her day through the first 8 holes. And another look here at the 9th.
Yeah, I like that.
Carlota Segunda has an eagle putt of her own as well, Kay.
Yeah, just 1 under today. Looking to jumpstart her round and close the gap that has been created. The wide gap between her and Wanasayan. Left to right breaking putt from 20 feet.
She has to be amazed with what she is seeing out there as well. I would imagine she has never met Shanate before the first tee today. And getting off to this start that she has, it's just remarkable.
Let's take a quick sec for our Volunteers of America tournament summary. Megan Kang trying to go back-to-back on the LPGA Tour. Celine Boutier did that earlier this year. Hyojun Jang, a 62 yesterday. Those 11 birdies, the second most ever in LPGA history for a single round. And Shaneti trying to become the 3rd ever Monday qualifier to win the LPGA Tour. The last one did it right here at Columbia Edgewater. Brooke Henderson.
It wasn't an eagle, but here's the birdie look for Wanasayan.
Yeah, that eagle putt lipped out. This just inside 3 feet.
Well, she has played the beginning part of this round in near perfection with an eagle at 5, a birdie at 7. Wanasayan leads by 4.
Six under par through 7 holes today. Shanette Wanasayan up 4.
And probably for the first time today playing a little conservatively, but rightly so. That's a tough hole location all the way back right. Don't want to miss right.
She's already made them from that range today. 7.
Megan Kang, closest chaser now.
This one, 175 and a 6 iron. Had to keep it a little bit lower because of the tree.
Necessarily fit her shot shape, but wonderful result. Downhill, side hill lie.
This is back at the 9th and roning in. It's to go 6 under on her front 9. She'll have to set her for the par. And stays just 4 back. Now Yojun Jang
Has 170 left. Player's able to get the ball down here a long way today, Paige, because the fairways are drying out. This is a good looking shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, this 7th hole has been absolutely eaten up by the players today. 10 eagles so far on the 7th hole. We have 2 more eagle putts upcoming when we come back. And it's an eagle putt for Megan Kang.
And this is one of those awkward reads. There's a little ridge in here from the bunker that looks like it wants to send the ball to the right, but the overall break on this green should be to the left. So let's see where she reads this one.
Not able to pick up 2, but gets 1 back towards the top of the leaderboard.
The NFL season is on its way. Season opener Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The World Champion Chiefs hosting the Lions. You can watch it on NBC and Peacock. Back out to the 7th.
And this one is Paige is back down the hill. I don't know if you've seen many putts from this area yet today.
I haven't seen a lot, especially not if we have a great camera look at what she's going to be facing.
It is downhill though. I really like her game, Paige. She's got a good swing, really solid looking.
Oh, wow. That moved a ton. Yeah, it's been fun to get a chance to know and watch her over the last couple of days.
As it has been this 19-year-old from Thailand, Wanasayan for another birdie.
Grant, she's hole high left, and overall this is a pretty level putt. It'll have a little bit of left to right movement. Very quick to get over the ball.
Refreshing, isn't it, Kay?
Goodness, that one looked like it was in most of the way. It is
putt.
refreshing, and it shows me that she's very confident today. She's clear-minded and is just visualizing everything really clearly.
I want to say every putt she's missed, but we've only seen 2 of them.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
They've missed, nearly looked like they were going in and had perfect speed.
You can hear the hum of the Indy cars from the nearby Portland International Raceway. Wanasayan is lapping the field as she tries to join this select company. Laurel Keane back in 2000 and Brooke Henderson right here in 2015. Now, Brooke had been Monday qualifying and had shown a lot of great form. She was a star amateur. But Wanasayan, yes, for sure, a winner around the world, but coming in with 9 straight missed cuts. It would be one of the biggest shockers at number 367 in the world. Got her manager, a former JLPGA winner. Wing on the bag as we take it to 15.
And this is Nelly Korda now for a birdie look.
I think it's the toughest hole today, Paige, this 15th. That hole location, just tough to get it close.
Little surprise wiggle at the end as well. Not a par, but a bogey-free round. We'll drop back to the 9th. Check in with Xiu Lin. This is a long birdie putt.
We talked yesterday about Xiu and Roning and their relationship is, oh, great putt. As Roning's renting the house from Janet, I said, have you raised the rent? She goes, no, not until November, which is a year. And she goes, it could still go up depending on how Roning plays the next couple months.
It's a prize money adjusted rent scale.
Got an eagle putt here for Arya Jatanagarn. We were talked about this before the show. You got 9 straight missed cuts for Shanate Wanasayan. Arya is a player who missed 10 straight cuts in 2015 and yet came out the next year and won 3 straight.
I say it all the time. Golf is such a strange game. Just when you think you have it, it usually disappears. And when you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, sometimes it'll surprise you.
Megan Kang off the birdie at 7.
And that's 8 iron on the way.
Ooh, aggressive play. That'll be just fine.
To 9.
And Wanasayan now on the tee.
Going with driver that has rarely deviated from the center of the fairway. And here's another one. Just straight, long, high.
Which is good into this hole. It plays relatively long as it relates to the par 4s on this golf course. It's played as the 3rd hardest for the week. So in good position there as we head back to the 8th.
And Hyo Jun Jang.
This is another 8 iron. You're right. It is an intimidating hole location. But you know the greens are still soft. There's plenty of room, just a little bit left of it where she is just to hit that one.
Unsure from her reaction. She looked like she was anxiously watching that one, but that'll be just fine.
Final pair is at the par 3 8th. We're going to take a look at our KPMG insights as they relate to Megan Kang and Morgan. It has been quite the show.
She's just looked like a different player to me, especially this week. I really noticed it this morning before this round. Granted, maybe a little bit of fatigue in there as well, as she has said, but I mean, she just is firing on all cylinders, as those stats show, and she just looked really calm on the range today. I would say with the lead in Canada, she admitted she wasn't so calm.
Yeah.
She was quite nervous out there, and she gave her caddy Jack a lot of credit for keeping her calm, Karen, and in the moment. But today she has seemed just much more relaxed, especially in warming up.
I think a lot of that comes down to a player when they stand on the first tee that they know they can win because they've done it before. They don't have to go out there hoping that the day is going to be their day. They already know. This putt is uphill.
Yeah, there's a big difference between, oh, they just hit a little crop about halfway there. But the big difference knowing. Hoping that you get it done when you've been in the position before, and knowing that you can get it done. There's a lot more confidence in the knowing.
I think that's what's impressive about Wanasayan as she's tackling this Sunday now in the 9th fairway.
That's a 7-iron on its way, 153 yards, playing a little bit longer, back into a slight breeze.
Oh yeah, another great position. You could hardly drop it in a better spot based on where that hole is.
Has she missed a shot today?
Well, great point.
I honestly don't think she has.
Zhang for birdie at 8.
Made a decent putt on the 3rd, but hasn't really had a huge amount of opportunities other than that. And
Whoa.
Tester coming back.
Just a moment ago at 10th. 4th shot for Gina Kim. An eagle at 7, birdies at 8. Maybe at 10 as well. Gina Kim having the tournament of her young LPGA career. She moves it into 6th place alone.
It could be a career-changing week here for Gina. For quite a few players on this leaderboard.
Grew up in North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Played, though, down the road at Duke. Back at the 8th for Zhang's par.
Well, we saw her putt move to the right as it went past the hole, so expect this one to move a little bit left on the way back. So just on the left, just on the right edge. Yep.
Look at the scorecards from our final pair. They're playing great, and they're being just zipped past like an Indy car. Over at the 10th, Roning Yin. Count her out.
This par 5 scoring was one of the things when I talked to her caddy this morning. I said, coming into today, the par 5 scoring, she was really lacking. Only 2 under par to this round this morning, but she's had a birdie and an eagle on the par 5 so far today. That one, I feel like you're letting one slip, missing that putt.
Jump over to the 13th, and this is Area Jutanagarn. Big ridge in the tier is to her right. May have some influence on this putt.
It's just not breaking quite as much as players think. We saw it the other day when the whole location was on this front portion. Players really struggling thinking it would break more towards the front of the green, and it really doesn't. I'll have to pay attention to that as the day goes on.
So the lead is 3 for the young Thai, Shanete Wanasayan, who has put together quite the highlight reel, just, Morgan, in this final round.
I mean, she missed the first 2 greens. So, okay, maybe she has missed a couple shots today, but look at this shot on 3, nearly to a tap in. Then she'd go to the 4th. This is always one of the toughest par 4s around this golf course. It's a bit of a tough start.
Yeah.
Especially 3 and 4. And here, just hits it to 6 feet and would roll that one in.
That tied her for the lead, and then 2 near perfect shots at the par 5 5th and a perfect putt.
Kay was out watching this 3-wood that she hit into this green, so it was just on an absolute roll.
And then how would she follow it up after taking the lead with another birdie? She was 5 under through 6 at that point. And then lipped out an eagle putt at 7, and look, it's no big deal. A yawner. 6 under through 8. She's 19. She's probably worn out. You know, needs her sleep at that tender age. Take a look. She's from Chiang Mai, Thailand. First year on the LPGA Tour. As we told you earlier, 367th in the world. Our friend Megan Francella was the lowest ranked player to ever win on the LPGA Tour when the year began. But now Rosang at 482. Alexa Pano from outside the top 400 just a couple of weeks ago in Northern Ireland. And now Wanasayan contending and leading, and a chance to add to it.
And this putt for a front 929. She got a good read off of Carlota Seganda. I think it wants to wander right as it loses speed, but she's been hitting it very aggressively. Oh, it went a little bit the other way. Now the question is whether she can maintain and sustain this momentum on the back.
She has to feel like this is quite the lull.
Wanasayan makes the turn, leading by 3.
Yay. Hello.
Megan King in a little bit of trouble here in the 9th.
She is. The lie is average. I mean, it's not as bad as some I've seen, but it's not sitting up like a peach by any stretch of the imagination. She's got 153, but there is a little bit of room for her to put this ball out to the right of the trees that are in front of her and get it to turn a little bit to the left. The ball is above her feet, which will help that.
Oh, yeah. No trouble at all. Well judged out of the rough. Now back at the tee, the leader, Wanasayan.
Yeah, this par 5, first par 5 on the back 9. Taking it down the left center. There's a little mound that usually kicks things down to the left.
Doesn't even watch it.
No.
Doesn't pay any attention. Just right where I wanted to hit it and pick up the tee.
Back to 9, this is Jang.
Over 147. Nice angle to this flag. Nice lie on the fairway. Oh, just pulled that one, Paige.
Yeah, she looked unhappy from the contact.
Up ahead at the par 4 14th. Area
There's a little bit of breeze coming at you at the moment.
It is the landing pie is going to come back.
Yes.
Pull back with 5 to play.
It's interesting. Do you look at this and say, I'm 1 back or I'm 4 back? I mean, technically is 4 back, but, you know, is this going to hold? I think that's the big question that we all have. Is Shanate going to continue to play this absolutely remarkable golf that we have seen? She doesn't show any signs of slowing down. And I would assume that Aria, it's funny thinking about it, because I met Aria and Moria when they were 12 and 13 years old in Thailand when I played in the Honda Thailand LPGA. And now they are the mentors of this young generation of Thai players that are absolutely crushing it.
Area twice a major winner, winningest player from Thailand. While we have a second, I want to remind you, you can connect with the LPGA Tour on social media. Find them on Facebook or at X. They're at LPGA, at LPGA_Tour on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and Threads as well. And LPGA USGA Girls Golf is on a mission to change the face of the game. You can join them as they celebrate reaching nearly 1 million girls. Help continue to inspire the next generation of players. If you go to girlsgolf.org, you can donate today. Tons of young girls and young boys out here in Portland, just packed this week. Record sales, and they're watching someone barely older than they are. 19-year-old Shanate Wanasayan leading it by 3. And Kay, we're looking at her manager, a fine player, as we mentioned, in her own right.
Yeah, Purani Chutachi, who goes by the nickname Wing. She's 37 years old and is a former winner on the JLPGA Tour before she left the tour and went in a different direction, started working for Singha, who is Wanasayan's main sponsor, and she acts as her manager and steps in occasionally to caddy. This is the 4th time that she has caddied for her. Obviously, working very well together this week.
And it looks looks like full send here, Kay.
I'm a little surprised with this. She has 226 to the front. But I guess her mentality is get it down there as close as I can so I have an easy third in.
Well, she aired on the proper side there, missing it up the left. Don't want to flirt with anything on the right, and she will have a little pitch. Might depend on the lie. Can't quite tell if that released through into the rough.
Back to the ninth.
This is Jang now for a long birdie putt.
It is, and you've got to put all the way across this green. There's a number of little undulations that the ball will travel up and down.
Well, we heard a little bit of the Indy car earlier. That was an aircraft overhead. We're not too far from the Portland International Airport. Catch up with Roning Yin here now at the 11th. It's going to be slow moving from her right to left.
And at the 14th, Ariya Jatanagarn for birdie.
Can be aggressive with this putt, putting up a slight ridge in this green.
Megan Kang for her birdie.
And again, you know, this green has some subtleties to it, and so much of it is just getting the speed right, and then hopefully you get a little good break as the ball approaches the hole and get it to go in the right direction. I mean, she's been a bit unlucky so far today with some of her putts, so eventually things have to turn around for her.
It started right on the line. She was looking. Is it going to break?
It feels like that would have been a big one to get, to make the turn and only be 2 back.
Yeah, it looked like a good roll. Looked like it was exactly where she was aimed. Just a slight misread.
So just a par. 2 under on her first 9, 3 back.
And so, you know, I'm going to say this, like one of the biggest lessons I learned before I won was that players will come and they will overtake you, and it's very easy to try and push and then to try and make something happen. And inevitably, the people that can get in front might not finish as strong as they started out, and you have a chance to catch up. You have to be patient. And even though she's not in the lead anymore, I think that you still have patience, and there's still plenty of time on this back 9 to make up some ground.
Oh, that was just a push right there.
That's not going to help her cause for sure.
Yeah, but we saw it last week. Saw it on both Saturday and Sunday. Just some turmoil at the top of the leaderboard. It's not over until it's over. There's still plenty of golf left to play. Got to keep your head down. See, that putter went up and to the right almost immediately.
I think that there's a good point in that there's quite a few birdie holes remaining, but also going into those final 2 holes. Really, no lead is safe when they're the 2 most difficult holes on the golf course, on those final 2.
We've seen some crazy things around those last few holes.
This is Danielle Kang now with a birdie putt on the 13th. Yep. She got the read right. And back-to-back birdies for Danielle Kang. This is Shiyu Lin. Her approach on the 11th. Stay up. There's the danger here at the 11th. You got to carry over 10 paces onto this green in order to make sure you avoid that hill.
All right, we have a 3rd shot at the par 5 10th for our leader, Shinete Wanasean.
Yeah, a little bit of toss-up as to who's actually away, but Carlota is on the green in 2, but way on the right-hand side. So I think it's going to be Shanate to go ahead and hit this 3rd up. And Morgan, the biggest concern here is how the ball is going to come out of this long, thick rough that has not been cut since last week, how cleanly she's going to catch it and enable her to get it for sure up on that top shelf. That's her biggest concern.
She's making some pretty big swings here, Kay. Looking like she almost wants to land it on the top of the shelf. There's about, what, 15 paces that she has to carry it if she wants to land it on the top shelf here.
And she did. That was job well done. That was really hard to imagine.
6 under on her front 9 to take a 3-shot lead and a birdie putt in a moment. The Vista House at Crown Point, about half an hour to the east of us here, not far from Multnomah Falls on an overcast Sunday here, Labor Day weekend. Glad to have you with us. Grant Boone, Morgan Pressel, Paige McKenzie, Karen Stupples, Kay Cockrell. Round 4 of the Portland Classic, and an amazing performance by the young Thai, Shanette Wanasayan. We take you out to the 11.
Shiyu Lin.
Long birdie up this hill.
That'll do. Look at that, 3 in a row.
9, 10, and 11 as she is still seeking her first LPGA Tour win. She's getting one step closer to chasing down Wanasayan.
Over at the 10th, playing with our leader, is the veteran Spaniard Carlota Saganda, eyeing a birdie putt.
This would be for her 3rd birdie today. Yesterday she shot a 30 on the front 9, but then cooled off on the back 9 en route to a 66. This for a 2-putt birdie.
Yep, there it is.
Morgan, she had like a 75-footer for eagle, and that was a really good 2-putt.
And again, 3 under through 10, and you think, okay, good start, but when the woman with whom you're playing is twice as good, maybe even better after this putt, it's why Carlota trails now Wanasayan to add to her lead.
Yeah, this putt has a little bit of left to right movement, pretty level. Oh, and those putts that were dropping easily on the front 9, or at least in the first 7 holes, not falling.
Yeah, but she's still very much in control. Not quite making those birdies, but I mean, her ball striking has not put her in any bit of trouble.
No, but it's the nature of this game. It's so hard to keep that high level play sustained throughout the whole 18.
What a run. From a shot back to 3 in front. Megan Kang now.
She had 259 to that flag, so she's laying up here.
Good shot.
Megan looking for another big back 9 on Sunday like she had last week in Canada. 15.
This is Ariya Jutanugarn now. She is 7 under on her round today. Likely going to run out of holes, but is doing her very best to put a little pressure on.
Here is the 20-year-old from Korea, Hyo Jun Jang.
She's 246 to the flag. It's just to put it into a position for a decent little pitch into the green.
Yep. Shot.
And up to the 11th.
This is Carlota Saganda taking driver, Morgan.
Playing aggressively with this club, Paige.
Sorry, Kay. That had quite a bit of turn on it.
Yeah, she likes that power fade, but did not start it down the left center. Instead, took it right side. Probably going to end up in the right rough or right trees.
She got lucky that it came down on the left side of the tree. She might be able to chase something up there.
There's still very aggressive choice.
You don't see anybody taking driver on this 11th hole.
Now Wanasayan.
And she's going with the fairway wood. It's hard to tell if it's a 3 wood or a 5 wood. With that height, probably more like a 5 wood. Yeah, really well done to the flat upper portion of this fairway.
Yeah, and I would say that's what most players do. They just kind of lay it up there before the fairway turns hard, stay up high because you're hitting back into an elevated green. We'll have to see where Carlota ended up after taking on the risk.
Andrea Lee, the defending champ, finishing up a very spirited defense of her title from a year ago. And coming off her own adrenaline rush last Sunday.
Yeah, it's great to see Andrea just feeling comfortable with her game again. She's such a talented player, and it's tough to pick yourself out of those tough stretches, but she's been able to do it. Kudos to her.
Yeah, last week she did exactly what she needed to do to make the Solheim Cup team. We're back at the 10th, and we have third shots here. Karen, first with Megan Kang.
Yeah, she's got 116, and this back hole location on the top of that ledge is always very difficult. First off, there's not an awful lot of room behind it to get it to pitch behind there and spin into the hole.
Yes.
And then you don't have an awful lot of room in front of it for the ball to stop it from spinning back down into the little hollow. It just has to be precise on all fronts. And really, ideally, you want that shot that just lands on the green and stops with zero spin. The wind is a little bit off the left, ball a bit below her feet.
Come on, it's a leg.
Take it up there.
That light ball back, yes, it's going to catch that slope and go back towards the bottom tier. She knew it right away that she didn't catch it the way that she wanted to. And when you're 3 back and you feel like the 10th hole is an opportunity to make a move, that's not the shot she was looking for.
Now area at the 15th. Just a par, but it has been a clean card. Turned in 5 under, grabbed another 2 on the back 9.
Third shot at par 5 12th for Roning Yin.
This is one she could be looking to chip in right here.
What a shot.
Just checked up on her. That second bounce there. Definitely their game plan was to play the par 5s better today, and she has done just that.
It looked to be a good layup, Kay, for Wanasayan.
Yeah, sacrificing distance for the accuracy off the tee, but it's going to be no problem as she has 143 to the hole. Needs to hit it 138 to cover the severely sloping front of the screen. She's going with the 8-iron. Actually, a comfortable 140 club. Really good line.
And just enough to cover as well. She looks maybe a little disappointed, but there hasn't been very many shots that have been off for Wanasayan so far on this Sunday.
Boston's Megan Kang eyeing a birdie putt at the 10th.
And a bit of an awkward part of this lower tier. She's more on the right side of it, which also has an interesting little break to it. It's going to go left at the start, but then I think as it approaches the top tier, it's going to go back to the right. Jang's putt did come up short, so Jang will have about a 3-footer for her par.
Karen, it was funny. I was talking to her this morning on the range. She said, my parents were so nervous last week that they couldn't watch on Sunday. Her dad told me that they went out and tried to play some golf to stay busy He said the golf didn't go very well. But then we got back. I started scrolling Netflix, and my phone was dinging like crazy. So we turned it on to watch her hit her shot into 18 in regulation and the playoff.
The golf went well for Megan. Fortunately for them, Gina Kim for birdie at 12. This is a player who's missed 9 of her last 10 cuts. And yet here she is tied for third. Take you to the 16th, and Area Jatanagarn. Watch her tee shot with their top tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
You can see that whole location on the back right. Can fade this in. We're starting at that TV tower, but this one, bit of a double cross. Won't hurt her though. Safe bail.
And back at the 12th, we saw the pitch from Roning Yin. This for birdie to get to 20 under.
Oh, just a push. That's a couple now on 10 and here on 12.
Yeah.
Golden opportunities to move closer to this woman.
Yeah, want to say and now for another birdie look.
This putt, about 18-footer, just had Carlota move her marker one over to the left, which confirms to me that she's going to play a little bit of right to left break.
I kind of like that, Kay, when the marker's on the low end like that, and you can kind of use it almost as a guide to play around it. Oh, but did she give it enough, Kay?
No, and she knew that was slow because Carlota's putt came up short.
First sign of tentativeness that we've seen, but I don't know that there's a slow putt. I don't know if we could really call that tentative other than the fact that it didn't get to the hole.
Not enough information. We'll reserve judgment.
Par putt for Megan Kang at 10. You mentioned it. She did fall behind on both Saturday and Sunday, beginning the day with the lead and came back to win it in the playoff.
And even when she was in here with us yesterday, she was like, you know, there's a lot of names on this leaderboard. I'm not sure she would have predicted this one ahead of her, though.
Careful with the high fives. On her way to the 11th. Shiyu Lin at the 12th.
She's had a little bit of an adjustment to her putting. She's working on getting her eyes a bit more over the ball. They had gotten a little bit too inside the line, and that's really made a difference. Started with that last week and has worked really hard here this week. Oh, and I thought right on cue she was going to roll that one in. But just the slightest difference in setup, whether it's short game, putting, full swing, can make the biggest difference. A lot of times we look at the way the club moves, but it starts with how you're addressed to the golf ball.
This is at the 13th. This is Roning Yin. There's a tier behind this hole that she could play off of if necessary. It's a good leave. Drop back to the 11th tee. This is Megan Kang.
No need for a driver here. I mean, you heard Morgan say how unusual it is for players to hit driver down this hole, and the reason is there's no need to. You hit this shot to the very top. You have a clear view of all of the green.
Little right.
And you can control the spin a lot better with a longer shot in here.
Left side of the fairway is preferable as well, and that is pretty ideal.
Long birdie putt at the 16 for Area Jatanagarn. But I figured this needs to drop. But who knows? Some tough closing holes. See how Wanasean plays with the lead. Up ahead at that 18th, Andrea Lee for a closing birdie. Hits it straight, makes a lot of putts. That sounds like a good Solheim Cup player.
Absolutely. That golf course, I think, will require a lot of that. Match play always requires good putting, especially in the team format.
Yeah, she's on that team, having played in the Junior Solheim Cup as well. On the tee at 12, the par 5 at Saganda.
Speaking of Solheim, Carlota will be playing in her 6th Solheim. First time in Spain. She's so excited about that prospect. Oh, big cut shot. Good ricochet. Fairway hit, no problem.
The fairway, oh my goodness. That's the same tee shot she hit on the 11th. Look at her look back at the camera and with a little smirk.
That's the biggest hook she's ever hit after it landed. And now one is in.
Morgan, you and I were really impressed with her move over the ball. You were talking about how she kind of sets up pretty tall and then moves into her angles as she swings.
Yeah, let's see. We have a good look here from down the line. Look at her posture as she sets up to this golf ball. And I was actually thinking about it as we were watching Ronan Yin on 13 there. Look at how straight up she is. She has hardly any bend from the hips, but then as she comes out into impact, she lowers her chest angle so that she can create that line that you want. It's just a little bit of an unusual dress position.
Well, it's an unusual position for her, for sure, leading by 3. Today's coverage is brought to you by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon and by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
This is Megan Kang and her second into the 11th.
And she has a 9-iron out. This from 127. There's a hint of breeze into her at the moment.
Ideal. Location's tight amongst that right side, so no surprise she left it just left of the hole. Now Ronan Yin on the 13th for birdie.
Like we keep waiting for somebody to make a move to challenge Giannetti, and it's just not happening.
I feel like Ronan has put herself in good position over the last few holes. It's just kind of in neutral.
Remember yesterday, Hyo-Jun Chang made that big run to get to 17 under. No one really caught her until the last 6 or 7 holes. Wanasayan at the 12th.
Morgan, at first I thought the primary cut was going to be a problem with the second shot, but it's actually a little bit of shorter grass building up into that taller primary, so she's got plenty of clearance with this fairway wood.
What?
Oh, it just sounds so good. She's hitting it solid, dead center.
Nothing phases her. That could have the tendency to go a little bit left, but right, and that's another aggressive play. Fairway wood from that type of a lie.
All right, so as we take you back to the 11th and we see Hyo-Jun Chang, go back to yesterday for our top recovery shot presented by Iovera. It was a magical day for the rookie from Korea, just 20 years old, and this was part of the magic. There's a rabbit out of her hat at the 11th. Pitches in for one of her 11 birdies. Second most in the history of the LPGA Tour for a single round. Top recovery shot brought to you by Iovera.
Well, she's got a chance to make birdie again, just in a little different way.
And this one, Paige, is uphill. The hole looks to be fairly, I mean, it's cut fairly straight, so I don't see there being a lot of movement around the hole here from this angle.
No, from this angle, it's been relatively straight today.
Just got to get it to the hole.
Looked like she maybe started it a little right of her target.
It's so hard to follow up a round like what she had out there yesterday. We say it time and time again. It's just, especially under this kind of pressure.
We're talking about Zhang at 488 in the world and Wanasayan at number 367 in the Rolex rankings. Alexa Pano was outside the top 400 when she won in Northern Ireland a couple of weeks ago. She's finishing up at the 18th. And there was nothing really to suggest she was going to go do that.
No, she's had a real struggle to start this season, but the way she has played since then, last week in Canada as well, had a really solid showing.
Amazing what a little confidence can do. This is Xiyu Lin. Got plenty of height on the ball. She should be able to go right at this whole location. Didn't get much help off that slope. We'll head back to the 11th and Megan Kang.
Didn't see a huge amount in this from behind, but general slope of the green would tell you that it has to go a bit to the right.
She's playing it just outside left, it looks like, Karen.
That would be a good line by me.
Right where she was looking, but too high. I'm thinking about how long it's been since we've seen a birdie from these chasing groups. It's been quite a long time. Players who really need one on a golf course that's given up so many this week. I mean, you're totally right, Paige, just stuck in neutral.
And we were trying to determine what we thought the winning score was going to be to start the day. 23 felt like a pretty good number, so it's one of those where it may be come the end of the day.
And you got a 19-year-old and Shaneti Wanasayan trying to win. Alexa, with her dad Rick on the bag, won on her 19th birthday 2 weeks ago in Northern Ireland, won a playoff. She made 11 birdies on that last day, a couple of them in the playoff.
It's just amazing what some confidence can do for a player. It's great to see Alexa really feeling more comfortable out here. It's tough as a rookie.
It's tough even if you're a veteran. Some weeks.
This is the 12th and our leader, third shot at the par 5.
52-yard shot, much easier hole location today than yesterday.
She just keeps hitting it in the right spot. That's below the hole. Another really good opportunity for birdie.
4 straight pars for Wanasayan, but a short putt for birdie coming up at the 12th to try to increase her lead to 4. Shaneti Wanasayan for birdie at 12.
Yeah, 9-footer, kind of right edge putt. Oh boy, that looked like a good stroke again, Morgan.
It did, just caught that high lip, but it was pretty much right all the way. But nobody's giving her any chase or anything to stress out about right now. She just keeps giving herself opportunities, even though they're not falling.
Xiyu Lin got a little unlucky to stay at the top of this ridge. But perhaps that is exactly where she needed to be. She made a brilliantly long putt from the front fringe on 11 and another gorgeous birdie at the 13th.
So
Nearly made the one on 12.
So Lynn is putting the pressure on. 4 birdies in her last 5 holes as she tries to win for the first time. And playing with Shaneti Wanasayan is Carlota Segunda.
This is a downhill, gently sliding putt. This would be for her 4th birdie today.
She's been near the top so many Sundays. Maybe it's a finishing kick that will await Carlota Segunda. So Carlota will be part of the story in a couple of weeks' time, 3 weeks to be precise. It's the Solheim Cup from Finca Cortesín in Segunda's home country of Spain. Have it for you on Golf Channel and Peacock. The U.S. tries to get the cup back for the first time since 2017. Roning Yin keeps burning edges. She's made 6 straight pars. This for birdie at 14. What a year for the 20-year-old from China. A year ago this week, she was outside the top 400 as we talk about some of these long shots. Played well in the Toledo area and really played well down the stretch to keep her LPGA card. And this year, she has burst through with a couple of wins, including a major. We're at the 12th, and this is Megan Kang, 3 back.
And she really got this tee shot out here quite a long way. It has 265 to the hole. She made a off of this tee, so she's hustled down into this point, so she's kind of getting her breath back right now. I suppose that's the equivalent of a Nasa Hatto, a little hops. But there's, I think she's got plenty of room to try and get this down as close as she can to the green. She's left herself a perfect angle, does not have to worry about those big trees on the right, like so many players do if they have their tee shot down the right side.
Go.
It's a little draw.
I'm so hot right now.
You feel better though, right?
Oh, I'm so like.
Gran palo, Carlota,
13.
moviendo bien la cadera y la pierna.
Miss Carlota Siganda. And I heard Perfecto. Well, we're going to watch it with the Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
Last words of assurance that she's got the right club in her hand. Much easier hole location today. It was back left yesterday, now front left. And you just have to err a little to the right of the flag.
Is that our practice for Spain right there?
See. Oh, this is drying in nicely. Yeah, that's a good
Oh, very nice. Very safe play to that whole location today. Next up will be our leader, Wanasayan.
And it's in this case nice to go second because she just saw the flight of Carlotta's ball. I would say Carlotta's probably at least a half a club to a club longer than Shanate. But she's got a good, good marker up there. Her goal would to be hit it just inside, try to hit it between the flag and Carlotta's ball. Doesn't quite do it, but another good shot.
Well, and this goes back to Morgan. We were talking about hitting the targets. On 8 was a good example where she wasn't aiming at the pin. 13 likely not aimed at the pin, but still hitting good targets.
Gina Kim is to get to 20 under. And Gina Kim, 6 under today, and she positions herself in a tie for second. Career best finish, a tie for 12th as an amateur at the U.S. Women's Open 4 years ago. We're back at the 12th, and we have a third here for Hyojun Jang.
That's 65 yards. Nice angle because there's a little slope that's beyond this flag and to the right that she can use to spin this one back down to the hole. I know it's only from 65 yards, but having that little slope back there kind of gives you the confidence to be aggressive with this play.
Just her 7th LPGA start. Hasn't finished better than 61st. So like Wanasayan, in a position on the LPGA Tour in which she's never really been. As opposed to Megan Kang, who Karen is now playing in the final pair on the weekend for the 3rd time in the last, 8 days?
Well, we've been saying it for a couple of years now. I mean, she's been well overdue winning, and it's not really been through playing poorly on a Sunday either. She's just been, beaten out of the winner's circle before last week. She's just a consistent player. She does everything well. She has a really solid golf swing, solid short game, and a really good competitor. This is from 47.
Page one here.
Going.
Wonderful shot. It's one of the closest we've seen there on the 12th hole. Left it in a perfect spot just below the hole. Won't need much break in that one at all.
Chance to get within 2, perhaps, depending on what happens at 13.
And that is because Wanasean lining up now for another birdie.
There is a big leaderboard to the back left of the screen, but I haven't detected that she has looked at it. This putt, another gently right to left breaking putt, where the last putt almost stayed straight. This one's got to have a little pull down to the left.
Finally gets one to drop. That putt that we've seen a lot of players overread today. Feels like it's been forever, but what a round of golf that she has put together. She's burned quite a few edges here in the middle of this round, but just keeps putting herself in position.
21 under is the tournament record, and Wanasean is flying past that at 14. Shiyu Lin for another birdie. Shiyu was 3 over par through 9 holes this week. Happy just to make the cut. Now she's in a tie for second.
Now Carlota Ciganda has an opportunity to get birdie here.
And she does, and I don't know if she can close the gap with the remaining holes, or if she's just trying to position herself for second place. But this is a similar putt, maybe almost a level breaking putt. I think she could play this pretty straight because she's exactly hole high right.
Well done. Pair of birdies. And back-to-back birdies for Carlota. 4 back.
Just a moment ago at 12, Yeojun Jang.
And this is just a bit downhill.
She's 2 under on her round today, but 5 back. Kang has birdie putt coming up in a moment.
Now Roning Yin on the 15. Hole today is protected by the front right bunker. Well judged and
Wonderful shot. That's looking to be the 6th birdie of the day, only on 15. Tough hole today.
At the 12th, Megan Kang for birdie.
Well, as Morgan, you said it, left herself in a great spot here, below the hole, putting back up at it. Not a lot of movement in this. Great time to do it.
I feel like we've seen maybe 3 people almost push that exact same putt.
So big opportunities missed at 5, 10, and now 12. The par 5s for Megan Kang. And the lead is 4. Shanati Wanasean. To do what has rarely been done on the LPGA Tour. A couple of different categories. On the tee at 14, Ciganda.
Well, this crowd is being treated to some stellar golf out of this too. Some 10 birdies and an eagle between them. It's a lot of fun to watch.
There we go. Much better drive there from Carlota. Wasn't driver, but that one started on the line. She was looking.
Let's watch the tee shot of our leader with our top tracer technology.
And she's going with the big stick. For the most part, has hit this thing on a string today.
Great drive.
And there's another one. Gorgeous.
Progressive Insurance brings you that top tracer technology, and Tracer tells the story right down the middle.
I am just so impressed with what we have seen today. It's just unbelievable. A player who has never, ever been in this position before and making it look so easy, like she's been here a million times.
This is the 15th hole, and Gina Kim.
She's going to give Roning a good read here as well. They're on a very similar line.
But it's just been quite the day for Gina Kim. 6 under on her round so far. Now over at the 13th, this is Megan Kang.
As Kay was saying, Paige, this is a much more inviting hole location today, but this one is going a bit left.
Uh-oh. Oh, she pulled it, so it's deep enough, but she's got to give it a little bit of a regroup right now. Missing that putt on the last, I think, was a tough one.
And over at the 14th, Carlota Segunda in that log jam, tied for second.
Because she hit the 3-wood off the tee, is first coming into the screen. 117 yards, slight side hill lie, downhill lies the ball a little bit below her feet, and also downhill. Was making practice moves to just stay with the slope. Caught that cleanly. Hoping for a little sit back.
Want to say, and we'll have an approach in a moment. First to 15.
This is Roning Yin now for her birdie. See if she can join the log jam at 20. And she finally gets one to go, so that'll move her into a tie for second.
It's a tie at the top. 19-year-old from Chiang Mai, Thailand, Shanade Wanasayan, up by 4 and in the fairway at the 14th.
Yeah, she comes from the very northwest part of Thailand. That's a mountainous area. Hitting off a flat lie, gap wedge, 90 yards. Oh my goodness. It's target practice. Wow.
It's one of the great performances that we've ever seen so far. She's got that to go to 25 under.
Megan Kang from the top tier on this par 3.
And it's going to take a wicked break down to the right once it hits the top of that tier.
Wicked break. Now you sound like you're from Boston, Karen.
Just trying to fit in with Megan.
Got a little away from her.
That coin near the hole belongs to Shanate Wanasayan, and Segunda trying to birdie first.
Yeah, after Wanasayan hit that shot in tight, Segunda said to me, I can't catch up. I mean, she's playing great golf today, but it's just not stellar golf like Wanasayan is.
Yeah, I mean, there's our scorecard. She's 5 under on the day and has lost ground.
About to lose even more. This is for birdie for Wanasayan to go 8 under on a round and increase her lead to 5. Making it look easy.
Little fan asking, how many does she lead by? Oh.
It's now 5. When you think about Sophia Popov at Troon winning the AIG Women's Open, some of the great shockers of all time, she was outside the top 300. But against this field, amazing.
Megan Kang needs this one to go. Just lets it go. Mistake was made off of the tee. That top tier is very difficult to get down into. So that drops her out of the tie for second. Head over to
to the 15th, and this is Shi Lin for birdie. She's made a couple long ones today. Quite. But 11 under, just on the par fours this week. It's been an impressive performance for Shi Lin. And we'll drop back to the tee, and this is Wanasayan.
You're going with our 3-wood. The fairway bunker is 235 yards to the one on the left.
Yeah.
She's splitting the fairway right between the two fairway bunkers with this fairway wood.
I mean, her body language has just been so calm, so relaxed. She gets up over the ball, doesn't take any time, just sees the target, commits to it, and pulls the trigger, Kay.
It's about as free as one can be.
And a player who kind of led the way, the first winner ever from Thailand on the LPGA Tour. She's won a dozen times. Ariya Jutanugarn over the green in 2, unable to save her par. She was 7 under through her first dozen holes today. She's going to drop a shot here at the 18th, and then perhaps watch and see if her countrywoman can become the 7th in Thailand to win the LPGA Tour, all in the last 7 years. Gina Kim, par putt at the 16th. And Gina, the 23-year-old, grew up in North Carolina, having the best week of her young career, college star at Duke. But it's the 19-year-old from Thailand lapping the field, Shanette Wanasayan, up 5.
The leader by 5, Wanasayan, has found the fairway on this 15th hole.
It seemed like she was further down the fairway, a little more to the left off the tee, but getting up here, Paige, it's apparent that with this hole location way back right, she is not going to be thinking about the flagstick. I would say, as aggressive as she's been today, this is a time to be conservative and play maybe to the left side of the TV tower, or even the right side of the spectator, the white tent.
Got a good look at that, Kay.
She has 151 yards to the hole, but she'll be looking to play a 140, 145 shot.
Looks like she was trying to fade it.
Yes, she sure was. And that's going to end up just fine.
Exactly what she was trying to do right there. Just play smart. No need. The last thing you want is to get caught up in these trees. They are big, and they can certainly come into play and eat up golf balls.
They're having a good time. Now Carlota.
Carlota is 11 paces ahead and more to the left-hand side of the fairway, so she can go with this flagstick. She's got to pull off a series of near-perfect shots to try to rival Wanasayan. She has a 9-iron in her hand, 139 to the hole. And she hits the cut very naturally. Oh, but this is a big pull. I'm sure she hates that. Oh, exactly not what she wanted to do.
Time running out for Megan Kang. 14.
Just about got away with that tee shot there.
Yeah.
She out of gas, Morgan, after 2 high leverage weeks.
Yeah, it's exhausting mentally and physically. She has admitted to Kay and I the last couple of days when we've seen her before her rounds. Yesterday said exceptionally tired. Today she said I'm a little bit better. She said I slept so hard last night, and it would only be natural for her to be out of gas. But I think she's played well. She just hasn't gotten the putts to go in. She's lipped out quite a few, and that's been the difference from the 120 plus feet of putts she made yesterday. She hasn't been able to convert them today.
We're going to watch the tee shot of Shiyu Lin at the 16th with our top tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
Beautiful little baby fade in there to that right hole location.
Some encouraging signs for Danielle Kang after a couple of missed cuts this summer. This for a closing birdie. Solheim Cup preview there, playing with Madeline Sackstrom. They'll be in Spain in just a few weeks' time. This is the 14th, and Hyojun Jang
Did well to get it into this greenside bunker. She hit her tee shot way out to the right, was kind of really under all those overhanging tree limbs out there, and managed to curve one to here.
That came out really low, Karen. Sounded a bit heavy.
birdie putt coming up Kang in a moment. First, we want to remind you that Drive On LPGA All Access takes you behind the scenes with LPGA players, shining a light on and off the course. Check it out on the LPGA social media channels, lpga.com and YouTube. The lead is 5 for Shanette Wanasayan as she plays the 15th.
Carlota Saganda will be up first, both having lengthy birdie putts.
I think this certainly favors Wanasayan to see Carlota, even though she's putting from a different part of the green, or another long putt, just to see how it's traveling across the width of this green, and it just gives you a good sense of the speed and the feel.
You know,
it's going to be exciting and Morgan going to Solheim in a few weeks in southern Spain, the first time it's ever been there. I mean, I'm really excited for warm weather Solheim Cup.
I think all the players are as well. I talked to Carlotta. I asked her today, you know, how are you so excited? I mean, in Spain, in your home country, she's like, I can't wait. I've been working on tickets for friends and family, trying to get as many as possible because she has a whole crew coming to watch. And she said, you know, I feel like we really finally have a team that can compete with the United States. I said, well, if you want me to remind you, you have won the last 2. She said we really have such a strong team. And I thought it was interesting what she said. She goes, nobody's afraid to play against anybody. And that's a good mentality to have heading into those matches.
Par putt here for Jang at the 14th. These are an important few holes for Jang, who's well outside the top 100 in the CME points race. Top 100 is what you're looking for. Same story, of course, for Wanasayan, but she's going to just blow right past the top 100.
We've talked about her missing 9 cuts in a row, but perhaps it was that playoff loss a couple weeks ago at an Epson event when she lost to Ru Yan that just was a reminder that she's a good player, and was enough to kickstart the momentum going this way.
Great point, Kay.
Sometimes also, Paige, when your back's against the wall on the tour, what else can you do? Just sort of almost like not give up, but just give in to the powers that be and just swing more freely.
Let go. You got to learn how to trust yourself at some point. And sometimes it takes the necessity of it that gets you there. It's been really impressive.
A birdie putt for Megan Kang at 14.
This would be a nice way to bounce back should it find the bottom of the cup. Pretty straight.
Playing it outside the hole.
There you go.
Nicely done. Needed that one. Needed that one for her psyche as well. Still a chance. 4 holes left. Some tough holes she needs to potentially run the tables.
Segonda's in the same boat as is the pack at 20 under.
Back there.
This is all she has remaining to save her par.
Carlotta, although she hasn't been a prolific winner on the LPGA Tour, she has been a consistent winner out on the LET. She won an Aramco Series event earlier this year.
It's been a few years since she's had a trophy on the LPGA Tour, but as you mentioned, a good talent, but it's going to need something special to happen in her final 3 holes. As everybody is chasing Shanette Wanasayan. She heads to the 16th tee.
And Shi Lin for a birdie to move her into sole possession of second. Players there at 20 under. Up to 17.
This is Roning Yin, and a good look at what the players will face on the 17th hole today. All locations on the lower level, which is on the left side of this green. Runs away pretty quickly, or runs out of green, I should say, pretty quickly past the hole, but that is a good placement.
It's incredible. This was such a bunched up leaderboard, and then Shanette Wanasayan 6 under over a 5-hole stretch, holes 3 through 7, and no one has been able to catch her.
And she hasn't backed up one bit. Like Morgan said, just continues to hit the ball well, putting well. Just a few putts didn't drop for a spell of time. 165 yards to the back right hole location. I'm sure she's looking middle of the green to land this 155, 160 at the most.
Okay, this has been about the most stress-free round of golf I have ever seen, let alone being 5 shots ahead on the final round on Sunday. This is just remarkable.
Well, she's hitting every single shot dead solid with great height and control.
So take a look at the lowest ranked players to ever win. Remember, Rose had just turned pro the week before, and she was the #1 ranked amateur for more weeks than anyone ever. But Alexa Pano, a couple of weeks ago in Northern Ireland. There's Megan Francella, 2007. She beat Annika in a playoff. Shanette Wanasayan, 367th in the world. She got into the second stage of Q School last year because she was inside the top 400. She finished in the top 10 both at stage 2 and at Q Series, and now here she is on the verge of a victory.
And it should be noted that this is not a weak field. This is a very strong field here in Portland, and it's just, it's truly beyond, okay?
Well, she's opening up a lot of eyes, including Carlotta, who asked me about her a couple holes ago. Didn't, you know, had met her for the first time today. Didn't know that she'd missed 9 putts, and sort of remembered at the beginning of the week she was a Monday qualifier, but Carlotta getting an upfront education.
Running in now to see if she can get another birdie and get into a solo second.
Yeah, just a slippery putt from beyond the hole there on 17.
Well, this golf course is being made look very easy for Wanasayan. Just a couple holes remaining as she tries to capture her first title.
For another birdie, Shanette Wanasayan at 16. Talking about a week in which 9 of the top 11 players in the Rolex rankings have competed, and number 367 is running away with it. 2 holes to play, up a 5.
Now Megan Kang
hit a driver off the tee, so only has 101 left here.
It's the second day in a row she's been quite aggressive off of that tee. We'll see if she'll be rewarded as we head up to the 17th and catch up with Shiyu Lin. Oh, very nice. She's had a very good day so far. 6 under on the day so far for Shiyu Lin.
Well, everyone's trying to get a look at something special here with Shanete Wanasayan, and as she steps aside, Saganda has this look for birdie.
Similar putt to what Wanasayan just had.
And that breaks her out of that pack in a tie for second.
It's not over until it's over. Keep fighting till the very end, Kay.
Exactly. You got to think beyond the 18th hole and just keep going. Nothing's in the bag. And it's great to have all these people out here. The crowd has been growing steadily since the 4th or 5th hole. And Wanasayan seems to welcome it, and it doesn't seem to affect her play at all.
I think that was the first par putt that she's had to mark in a long time. She has been dialed in with her speed. If the ball has missed the hole, it has been just a tap in.
Hasn't made a bogey since the 3rd hole on Saturday. Back to 15.
This is Zhang for her birdie.
And across the green, I mean, really, she laid back, and it was quite an intimidating hole location from laying all the way back there. You can't see where the hole is cut behind the bunker, so played out to the wide side of the green, but she has missed some shots to the left today, so I suspect it was a little pull as well.
This hole is played pretty difficult for that reason, Karen, with that hole location on the right. If you don't have it in the correct position, it makes it difficult to get close to this hole.
I was talking to her coach, Tony Ziegler. He said that is her little bit of a miss, fighting a hook. That's what she did last year, a little bit on the Epsom Tour, something that they've worked hard on. It just seems to have shown up under the most pressure that she's had here today in her young career.
Megan Kang, on the other hand, has a pretty good look here, Karen.
She does, and you know, makes a big difference. You know, you have the aggressive tee shot, you're trying to thread it through in between the two bunkers, and only having just over 100 yards in here made all the difference in the world. You can attack this flag. I think she's going to be feeling a little bit better after the bounce back on the last, but there's no hiding from the fact the big scoreboard's right in front of her. She knows exactly, you know, what Shanete's doing up ahead. She's got to be thinking. Sorry, Paige, I was going to say she's got to be thinking about running the tables right now.
I was going to say there's only been 7 birdies on this hole today.
Almost thinking what is going through Megan's head when she looks up at the leaderboard and sees Shanete's name at the top. She has to be just as incredulous as the rest of us. It's been amazing to watch her performance today.
Now Saganda on 17.
This hole moves left to right and sets up beautifully for Carlotta's fade. Took that well down the left rough line and brought it back into the fairway.
Good position.
Shanete tends to take a more straight line approach to her targets.
She just doesn't seem to overthink anything, Kay. It's just marvelously simple.
No,
One look and go.
Yeah, it's very natural, simple, free swinging round of golf today.
And that's one of the tougher shots she has remaining checked off. You start to think, where can she really get into trouble? This tee shot on 17 would be one place where she could potentially lose a couple shots. 18 still, there's that water that there's a chance the tee shot on 18 is tough, but the way she's playing, my goodness, she just steps up to these shots and says, no, I got it.
It's been impressive to watch. Now, Yeojun Jang to clean up her par. That will drop her to even for the day, and that just feels like backpedaling. But again, given the circumstance and her experience level, it's not at all surprising. I think the more outlier in this circumstance, again, is the great performance of not only Gina Kim, but the leader, Wana Sayan. Now this is Shi Yu Lin. Good textbook birdie on the 17th. It is played as the most difficult hole this week. Slightly easier today.
Up at the 18th, another really solid week for Roning Yin.
Yeah, she needed to flight that one down, though. She hits the ball so high. What a shot. That was fantastic.
She had a chance to move to #1 in the world this week. Needed to win or a solo second. They come up a little short there. At 16, Megan Kang.
She was trying to work a fade in there.
That looked like a bit of a tired swing right there. First one that we've really seen.
Three straight 66s from Megan to start the week, including one on her. Very much of a major championship feel last week up there at Shaughnessy. And another great week for Megan. Not going to quite be enough as we go to 17.
This is Wana Sayan now.
Just another ideally placed tee shot. She has a perfectly level lie. Only 123 yards to the left hole location. Just a little 9-iron.
No hesitation whatsoever over the ball.
I've never seen golf look so easy. Truly. It's just... I'm so interested to hear what she has to say, because there's the zone and she has just found it, and it's so easy.
That may be the most stressful part of her day.
I promise you it will be.
The interview after the round is she's still learning English, just 19 years old. Rookie season out here.
I'm sure she'll figure out a way to deal with it and look forward to more in the future. Carlota from the left-hand side of the fairway has a 9-iron in her hand, which seems like a lot of club, given she just has 107 yards, which makes me think she's going to take a little something off of this. She manufactures shots very well, one of the best at it.
judgment. Although we've been seeing flawless golf, so everything else makes it look more difficult. Wanasayan very much in control.
Second shot at the par 3 16th from Megan Kang.
She has a good lie on the upslope, but not much room to use.
'17.
Carlota Saganda.
Yeah, about a pace and a half off the front of the green. 11 paces once she gets on the putting surface to the hole. Might move right initially and then back to the left. Uphill the entire way. Yeah, really good for speed.
Megan Kang for her par at 16.
Still fighting for these.
It's a great battle for second.
This is now Wanasayan for another birdie.
She couldn't have an easier putt. She's got a perfectly level lie, and I don't see really any break to this putt, so she can go ahead and keep it in the center firm.
Might as well just go ahead and make it here, Kay. I mean,
why not? She's programmed to make all these putts and make birdies. That's all she's seeing today.
7 birdies and an eagle for Shanette Wanasayan as she extends her lead back to 5 with just 1 hole remaining on her way to a first LPGA Tour win.
and she just looks like she's having so much fun. She doesn't look anxious in any fashion. She's really enjoying and embracing this moment.
You know, a lot of golf's about control, giving up control when you need to, controlling what you can. And today has been, I think, a lesson in realizing that what you can control is just over the ball, and the rest of it, have a great time.
We talk about breakout stars in 2023. This is one of them, Ronan Yin. She'll turn 21 later this month. 2 wins, including a major. Up to number 4 in the world. Tied for 4th here.
She's a fun young player. I love watching her. I love watching her on the range. It just makes a different sound when she hits the ball. So talented.
Now Megan Kang.
A little bit of breeze helping down the 17th hole today.
That looks like a bullet. Well done.
Just a moment ago at the 18th, Shi Lin second. Tied for second.
It has to be looking now. Let's try and break out of that pack that you were talking about. So close yet again, Shiyu. Now that Megan has won last week, Shiyu is front and center as the best player yet to have notched victory.
And coming in for a landing. One of the biggest shockers we've ever seen in LPGA history. Shanette Wanasayan up by 5.
Not thinking for one moment about taking anything other than driver, who's been so reliable all day. And Morgan, how about another one? Just laced down the middle with a little slight draw.
She's missed 1 fairway and 2 greens today. And on the tightest of holes, this 18th, 17 and 18, 2 of the toughest driving holes with the biggest lead. All you kind of, you just don't want something to go terribly wrong, right? You just want to stay in control, and she just smashing through this door.
Wanasayan is 39 under par in her last almost 7 rounds of golf over the last 10 days, going back to last week in Idaho on the Epson Tour when she led after the first 2 days, lost a playoff, and here she is now. Forget about a playoff. She's just running away with it. Saganda now.
Saganda clubbing back, this fading, heading towards that right bunker and the trees.
Almost trying to lay up short of that right bunker, even pulled the golf ball back behind the tee markers there.
Oh, this is going to be the most rewarding walk for the 19-year-old Shaneti Wadasayan, up by 5 at 18. Shi Yulin hasn't won on the LPGA Tour, but she has come so very close. This for a closing birdie and a 64. She lost a playoff at 26 under par in Thailand last year. She's going to be second at 22 under par this week, it looks like.
Our coach Tony Ziegler said, watch out for Janet. I think she's going to win before the end of the year.
Maybe like Megan Kang, who's now approaching on 17.
I go home out.
And that's from 132.
Get up. Do something. I'm not going to God, I need to stop this. Oh.
There she is. Age 19. Last year won all over Asia multiple times. Had 6 wins. Had 1 win, in fact, in the UK. Ladies European Tour Access Series victory. It got her into a couple of events in the UK last year. A rookie on the LPGA Tour, dropped down to the Epson Tour last week, lost a playoff, but played high leverage golf on the weekend. And now here she is, up by 4 with just 1 more full shot coming up. Saganda to go first.
Saganda's got to create something out of not much. She's going to be hitting off of hard pan, and if she's going for the green, she has 165 to the hole, 145 to the front. Would need to carry this 155 and hit like a low rising cut.
But she's looking way left, Kay. I would err a little more on the right side here. Never know how it's going to come out contact-wise.
Ooh, it came out really well.
Whoa.
That was pretty solid. Obviously went over the green, but that was a good shot. Grant, that was a little 275-yard drive on the 72nd hole, leaving her a mere 120 yards to this back-tucked hole location. Oh, she went after that one hard, pulled it a little. Morgan, she missed a green. We have hardly seen that today.
I mean, from as far as that tee shot went, and then this one to go that far long, the only place she couldn't hit it was short.
Think she's a little amped up.
I was going to say a little bit of adrenaline, I believe, as well.
And she's earned it. 17.
And Megan Kang now for birdie.
Well, below the hole, putting up towards it.
That looked good. Needed a little more pace.
When we think about the biggest long shots in the history of the LPGA Tour, maybe in all of golf, it's not just to win, it's to do it the way she's done it. There are echoes of John Daly at Crooked Stick at PGA Championship in 1991. Think about Jenny Shashira-Porn and that great run she had at the U.S. Women's Open 25 years ago. Mentioned Sophia Popov at the AIG Women's Open at Troon. But against a stellar field to begin the day 1 shot back and to be 9 under with 1 hole to play, Morgan. You said earlier that you're speechless. Have you found any words yet?
the entire day, she looked like she was out for a walk in the park with her friends on a casual day of golf. And that's what she has looked like the entire day. And it has been one of the greatest performances I have ever seen from a player that I knew nothing about before this week. I had never met until we met this week on the range. And there's her Thai contingent waiting to celebrate with her.
Arya Jhattanagarn, the first ever winner from Thailand. That's Pavarisa Yaktuan behind Arya. Arya's mom over there to the right. Atthaya Thitikul just got up. Atthaya was 19 years old when she won the first of 2 titles on the LPGA Tour en route to Rookie of the Year honors. And Shanette Wanasayan is going to become the 7th player from Thailand to win on the LPGA Tour. And as we said, all in the last 7 years, since Arya was the first in 2016. Third shot here for Saganda.
Lie not that great. Obviously, this grass has really grown a lot in the last week. The green going against the shot, little downhill lie, but a good amount of green to work with. When that came out very soft.
First missed green for Wanasayan since the 2nd hole, I believe.
Yeah, I think she missed the first 2 greens because she certainly hadn't missed any from the 3rd hole on. Just paced 7 paces from the ball, which would allow her to land this about 1/3 of the way on, laying her lob wedge wide open. Yeah, got underneath that a little bit, but that's all she needed to do. Nice to have a cushion, a big cushion on this 18th.
She came into the week 176th in the race to the CME Globe. But with the victory, she's going to become the 10th first-time winner this season. 11 last year, so 21 over the last season and a half. She'll become the 3rd Monday qualifier to win, and the first since Brooke Henderson did it right here in 2015.
And she hasn't finished inside the top 50 in her career on the LPGA Tour. This is so unprecedented, and I have just been so impressed with the way she's handled the pressure, handled the spotlight, just continued to play her own game, never looked flustered, just, I mean, poised beyond measure, Kay.
Exactly, and I think we can thank Portland and the community here that puts on this event in Columbia Edgewater. It's such a welcoming place, a welcoming golf course that most everybody that plays it loves it because it's visually so stunning and just fun to play. And maybe that was a big reason why she relaxed and could play so well.
Par putt for Saganda.
Carlota is playing in her 10th Portland Classic. She's had a couple of top 10s. Ooh, thought she had made that par. That would have been a classic Saganda par.
The Thai people almost all have a nickname. And talking to Shanette, she said, yes, because our names are so long. We have to have nicknames. Arya Jhattanagarn, May, Moria, Mo, Atthaya Thitikul, Gino, and Shanette Wanasayan. Nickname is Proud. She's got this for a closing par and a round of 63. And Thailand has a proud new champion. Shanette Wanasayan blows away a stellar field to win in Portland.
As if it would happen any other way than her making a wonderful putt on the closing hole.
And a bogey putt for Carlota to drop back to 20 under into a tie for 3rd. this is very simply one of the biggest surprises and greatest performances we've ever seen in the 73-year history of women's golf.
Just truly astounding. And I mean, kudos to her. Amazing to find something. Golf is such a strange game. And playing so well in the absolute tour last week, giving her the confidence, come here, go for broke in the Monday qualifier. And then blow away the competition here. You think about how I'm sure you mentioned how Aria and Moria have been so inspirational to the young Thai players. The event being in Thailand. Think about Thailand winning the international crown earlier this year. It's been so impressive and proud. It's just a phenomenal athlete. Nerves of absolute steel.
And as you said, it had to end this way, didn't it?
Her stroke never changed. Her swing never changed. Her tempo was always the same. The way she walked was the same.
Another winner from Thailand, the 7th. They're in 7th heaven. Double check that it all adds up as we take you back for the second for Megan Kang.
Well, T-Shot caught those trees, and that was from 180. And just tough lie.
Looked like she was trying to chase something up to that right front of that green, and club turned over just a touch in the rough. Leave a tricky shot there.
Yeah, get that eraser out. Make sure you got it right. 63 and a 4-shot win for Shanette Wanasea. Yeah, this is going to be a fun celebration tonight for Shanette Wanasea, and she was the 5th alternate for next week's Kroger Queen City Championship. Now she's an LPGA winner. She's going to play wherever she wants for the next couple of years. Third shot here for Megan Kang. Another Sunday in contention for her.
But I mean, I think we hit the nail on the head. Following up a victory, I mean, a hard-fought victory that she had in Canada on a tough golf course, with another victory would have been, I mean, magical, but just so hard to do. She's fought valiantly today.
She's 2 under today.
Yeah, I was watching her walk up 18, just kind of shaking her head the whole way, and probably looking up at that leaderboard thinking, like, what has actually happened today? She didn't have her best stuff for sure, but maybe ran out of a touch of gas. But still, in top form, Megan Kang is.
We'll hear from Shanette here shortly. We have a par putt here from Megan Kang at the 18th.
I mean, I think about Megan, and obviously we talked about the weight that she's had for her first victory last week. Imagine what the weight was like for her parents as well, watching her every step of the way, trying to keep the encouragement levels going as well. And you know, it's nice for them to see it come to fruition. And a nice story, Morgan, that you told about her parents having to go out and play golf and not wanting to watch because they were so nervous.
Yeah, that's how she learned the game of golf from her dad, Karen, and it's still her coach to this day. It's a tight-knit family.
Well, imagine how proud they are of her too, and what she's accomplished.
And there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. All these players, wonderful support systems, and you all feel that sense of pride when the victory finally comes.
She called it a team win. Karen, you know what it's like to win a big event and then come back and contend the next week. You did it in Toledo after you won the AIG.
I did. I was absolutely exhausted. I was fine through the first 3 rounds, but on the Sunday just ran out of just a little bit of gas. And like Megan, I ran into somebody who just played better in Meg Mallon. So it happens, and all you can do is keep fighting.
Well, who knows how important this birdie could be for Kyo-Jun Jang come season's end. She's well outside the top 150 in the race to the CME Globe, and this is a chance to creep a little bit closer and break out of a tie for 10th into a tie for 7th.
Well, all of those points count, and also the confidence that she can take moving forward as well. That all plays a big part. But really hard to back up such a low round yesterday with another one today, and in the final group too.
This is a player who had not finished better than 61st in her rookie season, just her 7th start. She has to take a lot of confidence out of this week.
Absolutely, especially being healthy. Her back being healthy and being able to play.
It's all over with the shower for Shanette Wanasayan.
It's a little chilly out there, too.
I noticed, yeah. A great start Monday and a stellar finish on Sunday. The Monday qualifier, Shanette Wanasayan wins in Portland. Today's coverage is brought to you by Umpqua Bank, together for better, and by Volunteers of America, dedicated to building healthy communities through health, housing, and human services. Give at VOA.org. Shanette Wanasayan, her nickname is Proud. She made her Thai country women proud today. And at 19, you don't get a champagne shower when you win. You get the water bottles.
Great play.
Now, Megan Kang knows this feeling. She got her first career victory last Sunday. And Shanette Wanasayan becomes the 3rd ever Monday qualifier to win on the LPGA Tour, and the 2nd straight in Portland after Brooke in 2015. Our champion is with Kay Cockrell.
She sure is, and it was a delight to watch Shanette play so beautifully. 63, amazing round today. I know you were very nervous to start. What did you say to yourself? How did you calm yourself down to play such beautiful golf?
I think because I always talk with my caddy on the court all the time, I think like that can help me a lot. Is actually, I'm very excited, but I can't control my mind. You know that I can calm.
You controlled everything so perfectly today. What does this mean to you to win on the LPGA Tour? And you had it's been a tough year, and you come out and you win. What does this mean?
It's very mean to me because like I miscut about night even before this tournament, you know. I'm very work hard for make it happen, and it's really happened now. Yeah.
It sure did happen. Your nickname is Proud.
Yeah.
I know your friends and family and the people at home in Thailand must be very proud. Congratulations on win number 1.
Thank you so much.
Grant.
And finally, the tears come.
You did it.
It's sinking in, isn't it, Morgan?
I was just so interested to hear that she was nervous earlier in the day, because she did not look nervous whatsoever. And I mean, just think about what she must be feeling right now. What a day.
Beginning the day, one shot off of Megan Kang's lead. Missed a couple of greens, got up and down for par, and then this second at the third.
Good job, Tennessee.
That would get her a share of the lead. Now, Megan Kang would birdie to go back up by one, but then Wanasean second at the fourth.
This was when we started to say, wow, look at this, a laser-like iron to about 6 feet. She would roll that in for her second birdie in a row.
And then the wows just kept coming. Two beautiful shots to the par 5 fifth, and then this for eagle. Birdie, birdie, eagle, and then another well-played hole, and this for birdie at 6.
This was when we realized we were watching something very special that could be happening today, and something nearly unprecedented.
She lipped out for an eagle, 2-putt birdie at 7, and then at 13, she had gone a whopping 5 holes without a birdie, but hadn't dropped a shot, and no one was able to push her. And then that birdie at 13 got her to 20, 4 under, and then this beauty at 14.
Just look at those eyes, those focused, laser-like eyes, knowing that that was right on the flagstick, and letting out a little grin from time to time.
You played here so many years. These are narrow fairways. These are tough holes, and she's making it look so easy.
She missed one fairway today, ended up missing 3 greens, but it was just absolutely textbook.
Finally missed her first green since the second hole at 18. A little amped up perhaps over the green, but then pitched to here, and a fitting finish. A 68 Monday to get into the tournament. A 63 Sunday to win going away. So from outside the top 175 in the CME standings, Shanate Wanasean moves up inside the top 50. Roning Yin picks up a place in the top 10 with her T3 this week. And you mentioned it, 9 of the top 11 in the field in the field this week in the Rolex rankings coming in, and that's the caliber of field she beat.
That was a very strong field. I'm interested to see just how far up in the Rolex rankings she will move, and think about her schedule is now set for the next couple of years.
Wrapping up what I dare say will be an unforgettable week in Portland. This is a tournament that's been around for more than 50 years. It's produced some of the greatest champions in the history of women's golf. And Morgan, perhaps today we saw the next great champion. What she did, nearly unprecedented, and we'll see what happens from here. But for today, an unbelievable performance, really.
The performance that you would expect from the #1 player in the world. Somebody to go out and just play flawless golf, not miss a shot, and look so comfortable with the 4 or 5 shot lead that she had most of the day. And yet she's ranked 367th in the world without ever having been in this position in this type of competition, an LPGA event, ever before. It's one of the greatest performances we've ever seen.
Well, you were a teenage major champion. We've had our second 19-year-old in the last, couple of weeks win on the LPGA Tour. We had the 20-year-old Roning Yin win a couple of times, including a major. We've seen her win around the world, but to do it this week against this field, what does it say?
There's young up-and-coming players on the LPGA Tour are poised. They're hungry. They're not scared of the limelight, and they're not scared of the pressure, the cameras. I think the most nervous she probably was all day was doing that interview with Kay. And, kudos to her for stepping up and getting it done today. It was remarkable.
A 63 with so many great players right there with a chance to win. And now Shanate Wanasean, who was the 5th alternate for next week's Kroger Queen City Championship, is on a throne in women's golf as she heads to Cincinnati, an LPGA winner.
I mean, you can't discount the fact she even said it in her interview that she's missed 9 straight cuts. Golf is just such a funny game. You never know. And she looked like she'd never missed a cut in her life today, the way that she played golf.
The Epson Tour last week in Idaho loses a playoff to another teenager, Uren, and now runs away with it in Portland. Congrats to Gina Kim, career high for her, the young American 23-year-old, North Carolina. Another great week for Megan Kang, and Len Grant just keeps playing well. Yo Jun Jang, I'm thinking about Roning Yen. Last year played well in Toledo, didn't get it done, but played well at the end of the year, kept her card. We'll see what happens with Yo Jun. Creeping up on the Solheim Cup, Morgan. A lot of names are going to be in Spain on that board.
They're all playing well from both sides. It's great to see.
One more week and then off to Spain for the Solheim. Golf Central comes your way next. News, highlights, and analysis. Walker Cup there at St. Andrews today. We've got first round coverage from Cincinnati at the Kroger Queen City Championship. Allie Ewing, the defending champ. Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Golf Channel and Peacock. Jesse West, our producer. Pete Esposito, director. Thanks to the entire team. From Morgan Pressel, Paige McKenzie, Karen Supples, Kay Cockrell, and the entire crew. I'm Grant Boone. Remember the name. Shaneti Wanasayan is an LPGA winner.